What?
Is that alright there?
Perfect. Yeah, but obviously, as always, just gonna wait for a couple of people to join. See how it goes. Right now I'm on today. Looks like that. You just turn it down. Yeah, boss.
Like that, yeah.
What?
Like that, yeah.
Just like that, yeah. I've got squeaky shoes on today. Can you hear me? That back in.
I know.
So yeah, unlike me. Okay, so what time are we on? 7 o'clock. All right, Sam. Well, we best get started. So guys, yeah. So this week's box is the 37-ounce Tomahawk again. Slightly different to last time. We've got different size, different accompaniments, and some different things to kind of try out. So yeah, so let's just quickly go through the contents of the box. Obviously, what you all paid for and wanted to give a go is the Tomahawk. This will be in the region of 37 ounces, which is pretty good going. It gives you plenty for two people. Tomahawk's from the ribeye family, so obviously you can see it's got all marble fats and things like that. We recommend to cook it around about to medium rare, bordering on medium, just so it allows the fat to break down. That's the only thing. We've been on 2 minutes and the friggin' dogs want to go for a wee already. You have to put it down in a minute and let them out. Yeah, so that's from the ribeye family. So as I say, we want to do like a medium rare, border on line to a medium, just so the fat breaks down. And as always, you want to be cooking it for the set amount of times on the cooking instructions, and we're going to be letting it rest for roughly the same amount of time we cook it. Sweet potato. We've decided to put them straight in the oven today. The reason is because we want to make sure that everyone's concentrating on the pan work, opposed to trying to worry about going from 27 pans on the go. Do you know what I mean? We want to make sure that you've got enough time to put them in the oven and let them to do their own thing. It was on the menu, but I felt it lacked a bit of green, so I decided to put our tender stem broccoli back on. So hopefully that's fine with that. We've done our brisket mac and cheese. So what we've done, we've spent hours roasting our briskets, pulled it apart, folded it through all the mac and cheese, and we've just tweaked the recipe a little bit to kind of make it quite beef friendly. So hopefully has a bit of kick to it. Hopefully you like that. Chimichurri always been ready for you. If we told you how to make that, I'll be talking myself off the job, so let's not do that. And we've got the prawns as well, which we're going to serve on top of the, just tilt up a little bit. The prawns we're going to cook very last moment, and we're going to serve them on top of the steak. You should have two different butters in there. You should have an orangey coloured butter. That's going to be a Cajun butter. That's going to be used for the prawns. You've also got a long kind of stumpy one. That's the garlic butter, and we're going to be used to finish off our tomahawk. We should have some mushrooms as well. What I've decided to do, I've just trimmed them down, or chop them up, sorry, and that's going to act as a trivet just to stop later on the tomahawk there on the bottom of the pan. Whether it's a frying pan you use or a griddle pan, it doesn't really make any difference. But we're using a griddle pan today, and we've also got some lemon as well, which we're going to be adding a bit of zest to a few of the dishes when they're coming to get served. You snuck that in. I didn't pack a garlic bowl, but Soft over there decided to trick me to see what I was doing. So yeah, guys, couple of seconds, just get yourself nice and organised. Get your ovens on. The oven should be on about 180 degrees. As always, if they're not on 180 degrees, that's not preheated. Pause now and catch up a bit later on. But if you are ready and you pour yourself a little drink, then we're pretty much ready to go on the sweet potatoes in a second. Okay. Quickly. 1 second, let me just, there's someone trying to find the YouTube channel. Skip. It's pretty much as live as it gets when I'm trying to get people linked in. Okay, so hopefully me doing that gives you enough time to kind of get on board. So what we're going to do is going to lightly boil our sweet potatoes and basically just give you a quick seasoning with some salt and pepper, okay? You just want to mix it all through. As I say, the reason we've just done them oven baked and dead simple is because we want to make sure you are prioritising your pan work today. You don't want to kind of leave any of the fat unrendered or anything like that. So the idea is to throw your carbs in the oven straight away and get it sorted and not have to worry about it for around about 20 minutes. So the sweet potatoes are going to take about 20 minutes in the oven. Dead easy, dead basic. So whack them on a frying pan. If you have got any grease-proof paper, just to stop them from sticking to the bottom of the pan, that would be work it cheap as well, okay? Yeah, on the pan, quick little drizzle, a bit more. I'm just using basic olive oil there, guys, just a tiny bit more salt. And what we're going to do is we're going to get back in the oven. You pay attention this week. I'm sitting there, fanning your ass, scratching your ass. So 5 past, around about 20-25 minutes. Let me just make sure this customer got on board. Yes. Cool. Thanks to all of the repeat customers as well. If doesn't go unnoticed, the fact that doesn't go unnoticed that you are coming back week in, week out, which is lovely. It's a really amazing thing to see. So the Tomahawk, we probably, as your printed instructions say, we expect that to be out of the fridge for around about 45 minutes, something like that. Basically, what you want to do is get that core temperature to roughly room temperature. Because if it's too cold and you're doing it like a rare, for example, it's going to be a bit cold or a bit chilled on the inside. The reason we ask it just to have that time outside of the fridge is to kind of make sure the whole meat comes to a decent room temperature. And then when you are cooking it, it's always going to be warm / hot right the way through. The wine we got with today is a Sig and Sig. It's another one from the restaurant. It's Shiraz. You haven't tried it yet, have you? It's quite nice. It goes really well with a kind of a fatty-based ribeye or tomahawk steak. So that's the wine we want for today. Also, as well, I forgot to mention, these are obviously almond nuts. If you have got a nut allergy, obviously it was on the menu, so just be aware that it does obviously just contain nuts, and that's going to be with the vegetables. So if you don't want to put them on, then you don't have to. Okay. Okay, folks. I'm going to get so the griddle pan that you're going to be using for your tomahawk, get that on the heat now. Gives it a couple of minutes just to kind of get the temperature. Like a medium heat is fine. So we get that surface red hot. So when the steak touches the surface, you want to be hearing that nice little sizzle on the pan. If it doesn't sizzle, don't start it just yet, because it means it's not searing the steak. So take it back off, give it a couple more minutes, and then put it back on. So when you put something on the pan, if you hear a bit of noise, hear a bit of sizzle, you know it's starting to get cooking. So that's what you want to be doing on the get-go. In terms of your tomahawk steak, you want to be oiling the tomahawk, and all this fat will give natural oils out. The more oil you put in the pan, the more chance it has of shallow frying itself, and that's not what you want. So oil a steak, slightly oil the pan if you feel it's necessary. If your pan's 27 years old and it needs to be gone, then it probably needs a bit of oil just to stop it sticking. But if it's a decent pan, it's relatively new, it'll be fine. So I've just oiled that already. I'm just going to just give it a nice season, and it's just basically with salt and pepper, and we'll finish it off with some garlic butter a bit later on. And it's going to pack loads of flavour with the Cajun prawns on top of it later on. So you will really love it. Also as well, just a little thing to note, when you are cooking like a tomahawk, for example, or any meat, back up. You're getting lazy, maybe on a couple of minutes, you're falling asleep.
I can't see nothing yet.
That boring yet. Watch when the camera goes off again.
Just can't reach me better than you.
Go and get your drink, go on. It's your Friday night as well.
I'll just rest it there. Can you say it? Yeah?
You can see it, you know, alcoholic little plonky. Yeah. So when any meat that you cook with the bone, just bear in mind that you are doing the majority of it, say a medium rare. What the closer it is to the bone will take on a lower kind of cooking temperature. So if you are doing medium rare, the chances are by the bone it's probably going to be a bit rarer. That's not a problem. It's just making you aware that it just takes a bit longer to cook something by the bone. The bone adds a lot of flavour, a lot of depth as well. Just bear in mind, whichever one you kind of want to lean to, just bear in mind that the bone might just be a bit undercooked, if that makes a bit of sense. But we're going to be doing ours to like a medium rare, just above a medium rare, just to kind of get that fat nice and rendered down inside it. I just slipped. That's really bad. Oh, as well, let me just take it off. Well, I have a little rant just dead quick. So I've just put you some TripAdvisor cards in. I'm not trying to bribe you into leaving me a TripAdvisor or anything like that. But if you do enjoy it, guys, all your feedback is most welcome. Especially after the week I've had this week with the other bloody churrasco in West Derby, which has nothing to do with us, by the way. We are 6 years going strong. They've been there about 2, limping themselves away. I never slide. I'm all for small businesses and things like that, but they dropped my name, they dropped the brand, they dropped the font, robbed the logo, and they're just trying to rob my name. And when I get really horrible reviews and things like that on the TripAdvisor, it reduces our overall score. And I suspect people who bought the box are great supporters of Churrasco and all my team. So yeah, a little TripAdvisor would be most appreciated. Sorry, I was really unprofessional, but I couldn't hold myself. Dead sorry. Right, okay, so pan on. A tiny bit of oil in there just to stop it from sticking, a little tiny bit. And I've already pre-oiled the steak ready to go. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more just to stop it from going. It has been 6 minutes. I say they're going to be around about another 15 minutes or so. So what maybe you want to do is think about getting your brisket mac and cheese in at the moment. At the bottom of the oven is not a problem. So with the lid on for about 10 minutes, rip the lid off. In about 10 minutes time, we're going to get that nice and golden brown around 10 minutes. So, just make sure. Yeah, that's pretty done. Right, okay, so, as I say, we're going to put our tomahawk in now, and you want to hear a nice little sizzle on there, okay? And you want to make sure you just push down ever so slightly, especially where the bone is, about like hair up or something like that. You want to put it down and just start to allow the pan to do all the work now. So don't start jiggling around, don't start moving around. I say this every single week. You're bored, I'm bored of it. Don't move around. Let the pan do the work. The pan will do all the searing. That's what the pan is there for, is to do the cooking, not for you to fanning around, messing around with it. That's not how it works. So just bear that in mind, okay? You might notice if some of you did buy the tomahawk last time, I had a bit of a bigger bone in, and the reason we trimmed the bone down to roughly a handheld size is because a lot of the feedback was it wouldn't fit in the pans, potentially some of the ovens and things like that. So what we've done, we just made it a bit more of a handheld meat to make sure it does fit a majority of people's frying pans. So hopefully you are able to fit in your frying pan, okay? What are you saying, Matt?
The door.
The door.
I've already bagged that one, but yeah.
I normally start Josh off every single Friday, but he's been dead good today. I went upstairs and got ready. They came down. Everything was nice and organised. So good, solid 8 out of 10 for you this week. Yeah, no, it was last week and they wanted to freaking kill you. It wasn't last week, sorry, it was the week before. So your steak at the moment, guys, should be on the pan. Should be hitting a nice little sizzle on there, and you want to basically we're going to do ours to around about a medium rare, as I just mentioned. So we're looking at about 8 minutes in the pan. So that's going to be around 4 minutes on one side and 4 minutes on the other side as well, with around 8 minutes in the oven. Just straighten the thing up. So a nice little sizzle on the pan will make it all the better. We're going to, in about a minute or so, we're going to move it around just to kind of get a nice little crisscross on there. If you are in a frying pan, guys, don't have to move it around at all. It's just me being a bit of a kind of a, what's the word? Anal type of if you can hear what he just said. So yeah, around about 4 minutes on a nice medium heat, medium to high heat, about 4 minutes on each side. We're going to get a nice little crisp, a nice little sear on the steak, okay? Yeah, so it feels like there's a lot going on with different things in the oven now, and it's actually a really chilled out menu compared to essentially the Valentine's one, which is a bit wild. Apologies as well for our label printer decided to pack up today. So normally absolutely everything is labelled, but this time it wasn't. So apologies. I'll just quickly run through again. So we've got the prawns in the sealed bag. Okay, your tennis stem broccoli. I might go tell you what a lemon is. So the orange butter is your Cajun butter. Okay, guys, just bear that in mind. That's really important. So you want to put that in your when you're basting your steak up, doing your tennis stem later on. The long golden colour, normal butter colour is your garlic butter. Okay, the one on the bottom there is your chimichurri. So just for anyone who's late coming on, I know our viewers have gone up slightly. Anyone who's late coming on, just run through the box again, just so you know exactly what's what. And again, apologies for our label machine this week. Are you paying attention to the time?
4 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, so we're going to flip ours over. You probably want a nice little brown colour on that. We're probably going to do it with an extra minute, guys, just to let you know. Maybe our pan wasn't hot enough or something like that. You want a nice brown sear mark on there. So we'll leave that again on the heat for around about 4 to 5 minutes on that side as well. Then we're going to do with a nice add some garlic butter just to baste it. Basically just means we're going to start using all the oil, all the butters, all the different flavours. Kind of keep spooning on top of the steak, and when you do that, basically what's going to happen is going to just emulsify all the flavours inside it, mixing the garlic, the butter, the mushrooms, salt, peppers, natural steak flavours. It's going to be all going right way through the steak, so it's going to be really, really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to this. Stop. You?
Vanished.
What?
Top salmon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
There's something enjoyed. Oh, that's some blood there. And by the way, guys, any questions or any comments you have, feel free to type them in. I'll be able to read them on the screen over there. If you do have any concerns, or simply give me a DM on Instagram. I'll be able to look at it straight away. I don't want anyone panicking in the background, anything like that. So let's go for guys. We've probably had our steak on there for around about 6 minutes now. 4 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other. We've had our sweet potatoes in for around about 12 minutes. We've had our mac and cheese in there for around about 4 to 5 minutes as well. So we'll cover on gas now, guys. So we are heading in the right direction. So hopefully you're keeping up. I'm kind of slowing my pace down just to allow people to kind of not fall off the bandwagon. Anything like that. Show them the chefs.
Is it one?
Chefs.
I can never see what I'm actually showing them, to be honest. So it could just be the phone.
What's that?
Steak in a bit. Tomahawk phone.
Yeah, literally can't wait for it. I know. Cheers, Gavin, thank you very much. Well, you can't stroke it on telly. On the telly, I can't stroke it. Right, okay, so that's the other stuff on there. Another 3 minutes on that side, guys, and we're going to be able to start adding some of the flavours in, some of the mushrooms, some of the garlic butter, and things like that, start to baste it all around. The main thing you want to be doing is want to get every part of it looking less red and more brown. If that makes sense, that's what the searing element of it means. Basically what that means, you're going to be trapping the moisture, trapping the flavour, everything like that comes with the tomahawk. inside it. If you put it in the oven and it's a bit red, it's probably not going to render down as much. So just make sure that if you do need an extra minute in the pan, make sure you have everything kind of seared off. Okay. Just bear in mind as well on the cooking instructions, it does say it's based on like a 2-inch tomahawk. If your tomahawk had no tolerance, they were absolutely massive, or really thick, I should say. If it is a bit thick, guys, what you're going to have to do is you're going to add probably an extra 3 minutes in the oven, and that will just make sure the inside of the tomahawk is a bit more cooked. When you take ours out, if yours is longer than around about 1.75/2 inches thick, leave it in the oven. So when you take ours out, leave it in the oven for around about 3 more minutes, okay? Yes. Thank you very much, Anna. Appreciate that. Cool. So that is starting to take on a nice little, a nice colour on both sides. You'll notice that this side what we're going to do is going to tilt it up a little bit and get round the edges nice and seared. And what we're going to do is the same on the bone side as well. Just push that down a little bit. But that's what we're doing, going to complete the whole cycle of searing the meat. Okay. When we are doing the outside of it, just bear in mind it doesn't take as long, maybe 30 to 40 seconds on each kind of side will just suffice, okay? And don't be afraid to apply a bit of force on it as well. It is like, it's designed to kind of move around. So another 20 seconds on there, just kind of push it down, get that side of it all rendered out. Oh my God, that looks amazing! Gemma looks amazing. One of our repeat customers, Gemma, just sent me a DM on Instagram. Just shared it. Looks amazing. The same off and that baby, absolutely unreal. So, okay, so I'm fuming there, so you're not left in mind. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to add around about 2 pinches, so about 1.5 inches of your, or maybe 20%, 25% of your butter. We'll just put that into the tomahawk, okay, and allow it to melt. Whenever you add a bit of butter in the pan, guys, add a tiny bit of oil. It just stops it from burning. Really important point to note. And what you want is you want your butter to start kind of bubbling with it like that. Yeah, and once it's melted, you want to take a spoon and just start to baste it over the top of the steak like that. And it will just transform every smell in your kitchen. You just start to get a bit of I can't even say the word. And you basically want to start basting that for around about 2 to 3 minutes. About 2 minutes, guys, okay? And lower the heat slightly as well. And what that's going to do, until the butter starts running dry, you want to keep basting it, okay? And then add some mushrooms as well. And that'll add as a trivet. The trivet basically allows the steak to rest on top of like a root vegetable. So whether it be mushrooms, carrots, celery, or onions, anything like that, you're allowed to use that. We just chose mushrooms. I feel like mushrooms and steak go hand in hand. So yeah, add a bit of mushrooms in the pan in a second. So baste it for about another minute. Add your mushrooms after the final minute of basting. You're going to add your mushrooms in, okay? You always want your steak to be shining, if that makes sense. You want it to be...
It's through there.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Very work.
So our steak's cooking. It's yours. Right, yeah. So, oh god, here we go.
Wow.
Do those super fast. Right, okay, so I've now placed our, oh my god, so I've now placed our steak on top of the mushrooms, okay, and they're going to go in the oven for around about 6 to 7 minutes, okay? Oh my god. That's never happened. The whole 7 weeks we've been doing this, that has never happened. So,
I was looking at that window as well. I was like, oh.
what?
I was looking at that window, I know,
I
yeah.
was thinking, oh, we're kind of borderline up here. Right, okay, guys, probably go time as well to take the lid off the mac and cheese now as well. What time are those sweet potatoes going?
5 past.
Yeah. If you want it, if you got like a 7th oven, guys, as well, and you want to allow your sweet potatoes to kind of drop to a lower temperature or anything like that, you're more than welcome to. Our mac and cheese is going to go back in the oven now, okay? I've never felt more embarrassed than that.
Calm down.
I've got millions of messages now. Someone says, but everyone was thinking they thought the fire alarm was but it was the bin.
Stop it.
That was the best of the guy. Oh god. I need to drink. Come on, we'll go. I need another one.
Get the picture next to the fridge, just straight out the bottle, you're done.
Oh god, I'm not so embarrassing me like. Oh, never mind. So yeah, so your our sweet potatoes are now coming towards where they should be. So if you do, as I say, guys, if you do need to put them into a top oven, just kind of keep them warm. I suggest you do so now. That's chocolate, isn't it?
No, it tops.
It's okay. So a nice little thing to know whether your potatoes are done dead basic, guys, where you put your knife through it and it has a bit, if it has a little tiny bit of resistance, oh these still have actually, it has a little bit of resistance on it, it means that they're not quite done, but if it goes straight the way through, you know they are done. So the important part then is to keep them warm opposed to continue to cook in them, okay? Ours are going to be ready in about, I think it's ready to be, I'm going to whack them on the top. So what that's going to do is just, I've got it on literally about 50 degrees, all that's going to do is keep a nice temperature on them opposed to keep cooking them, alright? What time's that, Tommy, going?
I was too interested in smoke alarms.
Literally, I'm still here, yeah.
Feel it.
Like your voice. Almost as annoying.
Not quite.
Right.
We went in like what, like 25?
Guys, you need 2 more pans, and then 1 for the vegetables, okay, and 1 for the prawns. I forgot. I should have mentioned that earlier. Just 2 more pans left, and that's all there is, guys. And then you can start. You want to start getting things ready for, you need 1 board or plate or large plate or whatever. And what that's going to do is going to allow a surface for the tomahawk to start resting on. You want a bowl for your sweet potatoes. And the same bowl that I'm going to throw in there, I'm going to use that to serve up my broccoli as well. And the prawns will go on top of the steak. So yeah, so get your serving bits all ready, and you need 2 pans. I can't believe that, Josh.
Still crying.
What? I've been going here for 21 years. A nice thing to know about how you know a steak's cooked, do this every week, but come to that. So yeah, in the top end over here, if it's really bouncy, you know it's going to be like a rare to a medium rare, okay? And when you go to the bottom of your thumb, when it's a tiny bit more firm, you know it's going to be a medium. When you look at the bottom of the thumb and no give at all, that's well done. So the more bouncy it is, the more rare it is, guys, and the more firm it is, the more well done it is. So with this, you want to go a nice little bounce. And don't be afraid when it comes out the oven, and it is really fleshy. Sometimes when you allow it to rest, it just starts to fail. That's the whole idea of a resting. It allows the steak to re-encompass all of the juices and kind of get that red, kind of nice pinky colour circulating back through the steak as well. Can't believe that freaking fire alarm. Okay, so I'm going to be checking our steak now. Okay, so our steak's going to be in there for around about another 2 to 3 more minutes, okay, guys? And once that's out and it's rested, then we're going to start on our prawns and our broccoli, okay? So you've got 2 or 3 more minutes, and then what we're going to do, we're going to need your broccoli out. With the broccoli, you need your almonds and your garlic butter. And with the prawns, you need, obviously, you need the prawns, you need your Cajun, you need your wine, parsley, and lemon. I'm going to chop this lemon in half, guys, okay? Because half of the lemon is going to go in the prawns, and half the lemon is going to be squeezed at the final moment all over the sweet potatoes as well. Kind of give that nice citrus flavour right the way through. The reason the citrus is going to be there is to challenge with the Cajun and the other different spices and that butter that we've done for you, and also to kind of battle out the chimichurri, which is your favourite sauce. Not it.
Same thing. Mac.
What about it?
Some fire on it.
It's cooking. It's cooking. So yeah, move that over there. Really can't wait for this. It's going to be really nice. Just a quick one about the prawns as well, guys. You don't want the pan to be red hot. So basically, what you want to do is get the pan on the heat about 30 seconds maybe before you put the prawns and the butter in. Basically, if it's too hot and you add the butter in, no matter if you put loads of oil in and it's really raging hot, all it's going to do is it's going to split. And we want to once you add the wine and things like that, you want it to combine it like a sauce. And if it is too hot, it's going to look a bit oily and a bit shit, to be honest. So basically, just allow your patience to overtake with the prawns. Normally, when you're doing like stir frying prawns, you want it red hot, and you want it all to pop open. You want it to look the bee's knees. But with this, what you want to do is you want to be cooking the prawns at the same time as making the sauce. If that makes sense. So don't rush the finish line with the prawns on this occasion. And the obviously at the moment they look like a bit of a grey colour. And the time you want to be taking them out, when you know they're cooked is when they go from a grey to a pink. Okay, so it does take 3 minutes, it takes 3 minutes. If it takes 4 minutes, it takes 4 minutes. It takes 5 minutes, it takes 5 minutes. It just depends on where your temperature is on your pan. So just a quick indication when they turn from grey to pink, you know they're cooked. Just don't burn it, don't fuck it up. Right, okay, so I reckon our Tommy's been there for long enough now. You've got no idea.
You're not a clue. Yeah, I'm just, yeah. Still buzzing about it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we are now at a nice medium rare. So just allow those juices, to start going over the top. We're not wasting the mushrooms as well, guys, so we'll just put them like the bone of the tomahawk. So just come over there, Josh, and let them see how the colour should be undertaken at the moment.
Is that on the screen?
Huh?
Is that on the screen?
Stand it down a little bit more. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of the colour you want your tomahawk to go. Normally we'd finish it off with some butter as it's resting, but as we are finishing it off with the, do you know what, I love a bit of garlic here. Yeah, so a little tiny disc of your garlic butter. Put that on the tomahawk, okay guys? That'll just add another dimension to how we're going to finish it. So what we can start doing, that's going to be resting now for around about 10 minutes. We've got about another 10 to 11 minutes of this. What's that saying over there? Don't fuck it up. I won't fuck it up, are you, Andy? You're going to fuck it up. So yeah, another 10 more minutes to go. I'm just going to turn our oven down slightly, okay guys? We're on about 140 now, so our mac and cheese starts to crisp, starts to go a bit brown. If yours has, I'm leaving it as what it is. This oven seems to do extreme things, so gone crazy. So yeah, pan on now, 30 seconds time we'll get our prawns on with our about half of the Cajun mustard in there, okay? Oops. Okay, butter, tiny bit of oil just to attempt to stop it burning, okay? I'm going to say a tiny bit, about a tablespoon, something like that. You can start to hear it sizzle now in the background. Now you want to be adding your prawns in. Okay. So once those prawns start to go from a grey to a pink, and they start to open up almost like a butterfly, and then you know it's going to start to get cooked. Okay. Give it a wear as well so it doesn't kind of get mixed. It gets stuck to the bottom of the oven, bottom of the pan. Looks boss. Really happy with that. Guys, going to be in for the treat. This is bloody amazing. It's really, really tasty. Get your other pan on now as well, guys. Okay, for your tennis and broccoli. Both of these will take around about 4 minutes to do. Don't add any salt to the prawns. The butter's been perfectly seasoned enough with enough salt and enough spices to be not bother adding anything. If you want to add a little bit of pepper, I am. If you want to add a little bit of pepper. Oops, shit. So hopefully now that the butter will have started to froth up a little bit and the prawns will start to go from a grey to a pink and they start to open up, that means you're on the right track, okay? Okay, now I'm going to add the wine as well, guys, okay? A tiny bit more butter. So it should start taking on a bit of a sauce-like effect now, okay? Your prawns should now start to turn in pink as well, which is brilliant, so that's what we need. I'm just going to chop through some parsley. You should have all had some parsley in your grocery bags as well. And we're going to just add that to the sauce, and that just thickens it up a little bit as well. Oh my god, I totally forgot to say as well, there was 2 boxes with shellfish allergens as well. We did include cooking instructions for the ribs as well, so I hope they were in the oven earlier, so apologies, I forgot to mention that as well. But I hope you're going to enjoy them as well. As I say, the broccoli plancha went on about a minute or 2 ago. That's on now, just start to fry away. That'll take about 3 minutes, okay? I'll take the prawns off the heat, guys, take the prawns off the heat. I did not include it, I'm going to add a bit of chili as a decoration on top of our steak, okay? Okay, and you want to just squeeze half your lemon over the prawns, okay? I've got a little messages there, what are you saying? Okay. The prawns. Okay, lemon on the prawns, and you're ready to go in a second. 10% broccoli, we have about 2 or 3 more minutes, guys. And you want to add a tiny bit of salt and pepper to that as well, just kind of get that through. And with the broccoli as well, you want to add a bit al dente, which means a bit crispy, and that just means it's just the way veg should be. If you want it all limp and I shouldn't say limp. What? Anything is limp, get rid of them. Right, okay, so potatoes are also ready. So while I are just on the background, start serving up our potatoes. When everything's kicking off, guys, and you just feel like it's a bit mad, just turn the temperature down slightly, okay? I'm going to finish them off with a little squeeze of a lemon and a little bit of just parsley at the top, okay? Prawns, basically what we want to be doing, oh shit. Prawns, we basically want to put them on the tomahawk like that. You should have a nice not burnt sauce in there, and that's just going to go over the top of the steak, okay? And that'll be packed with the right amount of spice. That's going to be our tomahawk, okay? Your tender stem should also be pretty much ready. If you do like it a bit not as chunky and crispy as mine does, take it out, not a problem. But I like mine a bit of a crunch. Final thing you're going to be doing is that let's just have the tender stem on. Put that back on a low heat, okay, guys? Tiny knob of your garlic butter. If you're all garlic out and want to use normal butter, you're more than welcome to. And then you've got to add your almonds into the melting butter, okay, for around about 30 seconds. And what that's going to do is going to have a nice toasted effect on your almonds. The cheese is ready. Okay, and then the last thing you're going to do is just pour your toasted almonds, all that butter, over your end stem. It should look a bit like that. So we've got your medium rare tomahawk. Come a bit closer. Medium rare tomahawk with your Cajun. Lower down. Perfect with your Cajun butter, garlic prawns. If you didn't want to put them separately, you're more than welcome to. Your briskets and mustard mac and cheese. 10 stem broccoli with some toasted almonds in, and then some lemon and parsley, sweet potatoes. A little bit. Right, guys. I believe. Oh, don't forget your chimichurri. So yeah, I believe that is everything. If you do want to use any of your butters to, I don't know, use them, if you want to eat more on the prawns, you want more garlic butter for your steak, feel free to use it. I think ours is pretty much there and ready to go. Just put up a little bit. Fit in. Sorry about the fire alarm. It just happens when you're live. Anyway, I'm going to start waffling now, guys, and I hope you enjoy your tomahawk steaks. Don't forget to leave us a little TripAdvisor, ignoring the fact that we already set the house on fire. Bye, guys. Stay safe. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.